Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope all is well. Trying to see if I can hear myself, y'all. Give me a minute. I done got a new microphone, so I'm trying to see. Okay. But good morning, everybody. Good morning. I hope everyone is doing well again. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think about everything. Also, we are here to talk about season 8, episode 1 of Sistas. It's about the episode is called Dead Man Walking. Mm. Interesting. Interesting. All right, let's get into this. Let's get into it. Of course, the episode starts with it shows us the how last season ended, so it gives us, the recap, the history of everything, where it leads up to Andy and her little fake screaming when she finds Gary with the knife in his chest, and she with the too early for me to even be trying to do this little fake screaming, but we all know she was lying because it was fake. It was fake and phony. Anywho, after they show us the refresher to get us reminded of how we got here, it goes in to show us Andy being interrogated about what happened to Gary. And the agent is asking her, what happened, where you went from being willing to testify against him to getting back together with him and potentially about to marry him before this happened. And I don't know why Andy could have put us all out of our misery and just was like, dude was, I mean, he's supposed to be a federal agent, right? They're trying to get him on whatever charges they're trying to get him on. And he sits here and he's like, or whether she's like, sitting here and she's doing a flashback of how he's threatened her and told her he's going to release all this stuff on Jordan. And if you listen to me at any point in time, I don't really feel the relationship that Jordan and Andy has. I'm not into that at all. I don't know why. I do know why. But I don't like the relationship that Jordan and Andy have. Some people might feel like it's good. I don't like it. Probably because I don't like the Jordan they have now. But yeah, he gives me corny. But anywho, I don't understand why Andy couldn't have just said Gary is blackmailing me or Gary was blackmailing me. That was the reason that, you know, I agreed to marry him. That was the reason that we even went through this whole little shindig because I didn't want him to hurt Jordan anyway. But of course, she doesn't say that. And we drag this whole thing out. And she was saying something about, because he was saying that, they were being charged with or they were being investigated for murder. And she's like, murder? The last I heard was he was still in ICU when he was fighting, for his life or whatever. And she starts to get a little sad, a little fake cry or whatever. And the guy is like, what kind of sick, sadistic mess are you playing? Because you done went from Jordan to now you with Gary. You was willing to testify against Gary. Now that you potentially heard that he's no longer amongst the living, you crying. Come on now. I still I mean, of course, you don't want anyone to die. I guess you don't want anyone to die. But at the same time, Andy, you were just smiling when you found a man with a knife in his chest. So what you upset now for? Because you already thought, I don't know. I don't understand these people. But she claims she wants to know who did this to Gary. Why she told that lie, I don't know. Shit. Because Gary deserved everything and did some. Oh, you know why they wasting their time investigating. I know that's messed up because everybody is, I don't know, because Gary done put these folks through a lot. So I'd probably be like, okay, go on, go on, cover it on up. We through with it. But anyway, we through with that because everybody's being questioned in this situation. The next scene we are gonna see is Gary's business partner, Hudson. And of course, when they're interrogating him, they were like, did you have anything to do with it? Because you worked with Gary. He was being investigated by the feds. Y'all were close to being brought down. So you would, have something to gain by, offing him. So Hudson was like, if there's anybody to be blamed for this, you need to blame Andy because, she's materialistic and she was looking for a payday. And of course, they call her bitches and sluts and stuff. And then he also throws in her friends, Karen specifically, because he was like, she's pregnant by two men. Like basically that's like slutty behavior. Don't get me wrong. I got my own thoughts and opinions as far as Karen goes, but homeboy, that ain't got nothing to do with you. That ain't your business. And what does that have to do with this murder situation? Ain't got nothing to do with that. Because homeboy, you probably got something to do with it. You got as much to gain as everybody else in this whole situation. But hey, I digress. But I really didn't understand what who Karen slept with or didn't sleep with had to do with the whole thing. Um, Next we'll see the next scene is the officer or the agent interrogating Karen. And of course, while they're interrogating people, they're bringing up all the stuff that's going on in their past history. Because, like with Karen, he's talking about, her different baby daddies. Then he mentions her salon that burned up. Then he mentioned roots to riches. I mean, they bring up all this other stuff that's going on in their lives to try to coerce or try to get them to admit to doing something that they may or may not have done. And of course, Karen is like, what does any of that have to do with what's going on with Gary? Because they let her know that Marie Willis, because they trying to tie everything back to Andy, of course. They let her know that Marie Willis, which is the billionaire that Andy's biggest client right now, had just invested in Roots to Riches, which Karen had also invested in. But at the same time, Karen didn't know anything about that because Pam was the one that got Miss Marie to invest in Roots to Riches. So I don't know why they had anything to do with bringing that up. But they were like, Marie was a private investor in Gary's hedge fund business. And of course, she didn't know anything about that. Calls her and her friends a coven. And they were like, what did you have to do? Did you do it? And of course, no, nobody want. I ain't gonna sit here and say they didn't want Gary as dead because they did. They didn't do it, but they wanted it. But next, we'll see where Rich and Tony. Well, Tony comes to the juice bar, and Rich asks if he's heard from Danny, And and they was like, they're talking about the fact that, Sabrina and Danny are being questioned in regards to their, friend Andy. And Rich is, I don't care what nobody say. I don't like Rich. Rich is a fuck boy. And he said, don't get me wrong, I feel my ways about all these women that we being honest. But I don't appreciate Rich coming in talking about fuck Andy. Bitch, fuck you. I think Andy a little ditzy and all kind of stuff. But you don't even know her backstory. You don't know nothing. You don't know. I understand you supposedly taking up for your friend. But what you're not going to do is sit here and try to dog her and try to be friends with her friend. Who does that? Rich, I don't like. I haven't liked Rich since last when they came into the picture. I don't like Rich. Now, whether or not they're gonna change in the future, I doubt it. But I don't like Rich. Y'all might can like him, but Rich, in my opinion, in my personal opinion, because it is my personal opinion, Rich is a fuck boy, and I don't like him. Sorry. And while I'm saying that, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Thank you. I don't like Rich. I'm sorry. I just don't. But anyway, like I'm missing my page. Where am I? Mm, Anyway, the next thing we see where they are not interrogating Sabrina. Of course, Sabrina is nervous. The agent tells her, of course you would be, considering, because she's like, she don't like being in situations like that. Of course, he's like, of course you wouldn't be, considering you were investigated not too long ago for the attempted bank robbery. And it's kind of ironic how, y'all got your jobs back. You even got a promotion. And she was like, because I didn't do anything, I didn't do anything wrong. Sabrina really didn't do anything. All that is on Maurice. That was Maurice's fault from jump. All because he was hot in the ass for Q. And I ain't see what he was so hot about. But hey, it is what it is. And Serena lets him know that, because he was talking about them being friends and stuff. And Serena was like, her friends are, like her family, and she do anything for them. And he was like, so you do anything including murder for your friends? And of course, Sabrina's outraged. She can't believe they asked her that, and she wants to leave. Oh, this fake ass outrage. But she walked out. Next, we have my girl Danny. Danny need to leave Tony ass alone. But hey, them me and my thoughts. Y'all don't pay no attention to me. These people, I have personal biases with some of these people, but hey, I digress. But next up, we have Danny. And the agent said, so you're gonna stick with the same story that your rest of your friends have said. And then it was like, no, I went to the wedding with the sole intent and purposes on fucking it up. So home was like, oh, so now we getting somewhere. Now we getting somewhere. So he said, so how far would you have been willing to go to stop this wedding? See, she said she was prepared to burn that shit down. And she said, unfortunately, before she had the opportunity, somebody had already fucked it up. So now he's sitting there looking stupid, and he's like, you didn't stab Gary, did you? And she like, no, I did not. But whoever did it, can you arrange for them to get a key to the city? Baby, I holler. Then because the dude was like, there's no smoking in here. She was like, so what you gonna do? arrest me for vaping. Arrest her for vaping, but I was fun. It was funny to me because, baby, if I don't like nobody else, I like Danny. Danny give him the business because he deserved everything he got and then some. Homeboy ain't worth two nickels because he's sitting here trying to interrogate these people, trying to make them admit to doing something they didn't do. Man, if you got a suspect, charge your suspect. Don't be sitting here taking the rest of them through that. So my question, I'll ask that question later. But please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Next, we will see Zach. It's his turn to be investigated, and he says he's not saying anything without his lawyer present. And of course, the agent is like, "Why are we bringing up lawyer? Like, if you didn't do anything, why are we bringing up the lawyer?" And Zach is like, he want his attorney, and otherwise, they can stand here and meat mug each other all day. And so the guy is like, you know, I don't really think you did anything anyway. I think it's the hot ass tempered fiance of yours. Or did he say girlfriend? I don't know. He said one of them. Because he was like, Fatima was more than likely to take Gary out over Zach. Of course, Zach is like, don't mention her name, don't bring her name up, and all of that or whatever. So the guy was like, since you keep talking about attorneys, he wonders what Heather's lawyer would say, knowing that he and Fatima are being investigated for a murder. Murder! Murder was the case that they gave. It's a damn shame. All this drama for Gary Puck ass. Anyway, of course, he tells him to leave his son out of this. He ain't had nothing to do with it. Ain't nobody do nothing to Gary. Of course, same song and dance that everybody gonna say, but it is what it is. Next, we'll see Fatima being questioned. And he tells her she'll make a good lawyer one day because, of all the people that he's interrogated that day, she's probably the best at what she's done. And he's talking about he'd read a podcast or listened to a podcast about a paralegal that was so loyal to her boss that she killed her fiance. And Fatima tells him that he's short-sighted to think. Well, first she tells him he don't need to listen to that podcast anymore. And she tells him that he's short-sighted to think that she risked her future, her fiance's future, and all of that over money because, of course, they brought up the motive as to why they would take out Gary because, of course, Zach had invested money in the hedge fund and the hedge fund had lost the money. So, of course, they're saying that might be a reason why she would take him out. Of course, we go back to where Andy is being interrogated and she's ready to go. She lets him know that she feels like he has no viable suspects. Of course, he tells her, baby girl, you my prime suspect. You at the top of the list, home girl. But he was like, I know you're worried about one particular person, what they're gonna say about this situation. Which the next scene is where they go to Jordan, and Jordan is okay. Now that they've eliminated the threat, can my sister come? This relationship with Jordan and his sister, it gives incestual because there's a whole lot of going on there. That relationship it's a little iffy. It's a little iffy because it's uh, uh mm, I'm a little that relationship. Something there that should be there, but he asks all this stuff about can his sister come home, and they're like, you because he was asking questions about did he do this to Gary? because of, Gary taking his girlfriend, Gary screwing his sister and taking his sister away from him, and, taking out the little baby that she was pregnant with. And it's like, he's done a lot to you. You've got reason to want to do this. And he was like, so why did you go to the wedding? And he was like, or the private wedding or whatever it was. And he said he wanted answers. And I honestly, I don't care what way they trying to spin this little man. I like Jordan. I do not. But anyway, he lets them know that he didn't do it. And the detective, the agent, whoever he is, he asked Jordan if he loves Andy enough to kill for her. We didn't get an answer. Just looking at each other like they're crazy. And next, we'll see the next scene is where, of course, Andy is still ready to go. The agent tells her she can leave at any time she get ready. Next, we'll go to the scene of somebody that should have been in the interrogation room, but he wasn't, is Hayden. Hayden is packing and watching the news. And I'm like, did Hayden do this? Because, he's packing, he's trying to get ready to leave town because he's finna blow this popsicle joint. And would it be too obvious to say that Hayden was the one that took Jordan out? Not Jordan, Gary. Would that be too obvious? Because I still feel like the business partner had a lot to do with this. I really do. But at the same time, Hayden had, he had his reasons to do it. I mean, he was tapping his girl. He would blow her bike out. But hey, it could have been him. It could have been. So he got his little stuff packed. Obviously, he didn't pack very much. He didn't even turn the TV off. He was getting ready to walk out. And time he gets to the door, you have Tamira at the door, and she's like, "Are you going somewhere? Are you going somewhere?" Stupid. This is so stupid. Next, we'll see where Serena goes home, and Rich is there waiting for her. And he tells her that he wants to be there for her. And she tells him that, she's feeling overwhelmed because of how she was interrogated by everything that has transpired. He said he's there. He's not going anywhere. She said, "You promise?" He said, yes. He kisses her. Next scene. Danny goes home and we'll see where she starts journaling. And she's like, for a minute there, the agent thought I was capable of murder. And she's like, okay, let me throw this away. It ain't need to be me writing and leaving no incriminating evidence about myself. So then she throws that piece of paper away and she says Andy is really been going through it. And she talks about Gary and says somebody finally got his ass. She says she would say that he had this ish coming, but being this close to someone's trauma makes her think about her own. And I think they need to explore that and let us know what all trauma Danny has gone through to have her in the space that she is. Because obviously she's trying to heal. I don't think Tony is the best for her in trying to heal. I could be wrong. I ain't no rocket scientist. I can't say, but I don't like. Let me tell you, I don't like none of these men. But hey, I digress. But anyway, Tony shows up, and Danny wants to get her freak on, but Tony wants to talk about what happened the last few days, and she's like, he's in there telling her about what happened. She knows what happened. She was there. So why are you bringing this up? So he's like, so she tells him she doesn't want to talk about it. She just want to get her freak on. And he was like, so you telling me you want to have sex of everything that's transpired in the last few days, and you want to have sex? And he's just like, dude, or at least that's how I took it too. I don't know what this is you trying to talk about, but I don't want to talk about that. I wanted to go to Pound Town. If you ain't about that, I'll go get it from somebody else. Hey, she will. Because she's like, she don't want to talk. She just want him to fuck her. At the end of the day, that's what she wants. Next, we'll go to Karen's house. She's sitting there. Ain't really a whole lot transpired at Karen's house. She's just sitting there, and then she gets a knock on the door. Somebody's beating on the door like the popo, and it is Pam. Pam comes in talking about she need a friend, want to hug her, whatever. As they could have left that out altogether. The next scene is with Zach and Fatima, and they're discussing the situation. And he's talking about the cops was asking if he killed Gary, and Fatima was like, "Well, did you?" Because he's talking about how upset and mad he was that she felt like he could have done it. And of course, Zach is like, he put it on his unborn kids that he didn't do it. She's like, well, you didn't have to do all that. You didn't have to go through all that. I believe you. But even in that instance, like, how you gonna ask Zach did he do something when you just as liable to do it as he is? So of course, now he flips it and asks her, did she do it? And she was like, hell no. Somebody she loves Andy like a sister, but she's not gonna do hard time for nobody. I can't tell because the way she is just, you know, about it life, she be want to do hard time for everybody. She ready to do hard time for Zach. So you gonna sit here and say you wouldn't do hard time for Andy? Whatever, Fatima. Now, if you say you ain't do it, I guess we ain't got no choice but to believe you because Hayden acting real suspect right now. He really is. Of course, they're talking about how everybody had a reason to, but the question is who actually did it. So now they're talking about they are going to be the detectives to figure out who offed Gary. Who offed Gary? That's the question. Who did Gary in? Man, screw Gary. The next scene, we will see where the Hudson, whatever, runs to the hospital to find out whether or not Gary is dead. Of course, the doctor is like, he flatlined, but he a tough old cookie. So Gary isn't dead. He came close, but he ain't dead. So everybody's sitting here being interrogated. Cops live talking about this man dying because they want somebody to confess to some shit that they didn't do, all because they can't do their jobs. All for them to come back and tell us that this bitch ain't even dead. Hey, then your punk ass couldn't even kill him right. How you gonna sit there and try to run away now? You ain't even killed the man. You didn't. But you trying to run away because oh my god. How you gonna kill somebody and not even do it right? Y'all suck. Y'all suck, y'all suck, y'all suck. So now after this happens, Gary gonna be on y'all head top. He gonna be on everybody's head. Or they could just go to rest his ass call it a day. But hey, I digress. But anyway, back to the interrogation where Andy is still being interrogated. Dude is calling Andy a fickle tramp and how Jordan has ruined his chances on being city council or whatever, his political career, all for running up behind this tramp who is fickle. And baby, he insulted Andy ass because he talking about he one of the good guys. Andy is like, you are not one of the good guys because if you were one of the good guys, then women like her wouldn't be around here talking about me too because they sit around here and contribute to Gary's misogynistic men like Gary who are misogynistic and get away with a lot of stuff. Anyway, dude goes to clapping. He calls Andy a drama queen. Andy calls him asshole. Then she stands up, getting ready to make this big old hurrah or make this big old statement that she didn't make because in walks who? Robin. Hey, hey, hey. Robin is back. We don't know where the hell he been, but he is back. And he's the agent is like, who the hell are you to walk in on my interrogation like that? And he was like, I am her legal counsel. This is over. And basically, that is how this episode ends. I don't know what this season holds. It's gonna be interesting. But not Gary, Hayden, if you are the one that tried to kill Gary and didn't do it, you a punk ass. You suck. You suck. But anyway, that is it. That is all for this review. Please let me know what you guys think. Who do you all think killed Gary? Not kill Gary. Who do you think stabbed Gary? Because as we have learned, he is not dead. So who do you think did it or tried to do it? Please drop down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And I hope everyone has an amazing day. I will talk to you soon. Bye.